Hello everyone, welcome back to the Creative Shelf. You are joining me on a cold, grey, drizzly day in Brussels. Yep, this is the Creative Shelf in Brussels. Welcome to new subscribers and welcome back to those who already know me. So yeah, Happy New Year. We're into 2023 already. Time is flying by. And I'm just really glad that I'm still able to film, I'm still able to make videos. I'm sorry I've been a bit quiet. I actually had a quiet Christmas, which was really good. I used that time just to chill out. One thing I did miss last year, actually, I have to say this, is that we didn't have Vlogmas. I remember doing Vlogmas with Brian over at Papa Squirrel the year before. I missed that a little bit, actually. So I have to say that if anybody's up for Vlogmas, like a full-on list at the end of this year, I'd definitely be interested in that. But without further ado, why am I talking about Christmas already? You see, that's how much I like Christmas. But without further ado, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. And yes, we crossed the winter solstice too, which is always bliss for me because I need that light to come into my head again. So already, because we're already like, what, 3 weeks post-solstice, or 2 weeks, sorry, post-solstice, I can feel that change in light in the mornings, and that's really helping me. So I just want to share that because it's a big deal to me. But let me move on to the deck that I used in December, my deep dive. Now, this is a Llewellyn deck that I had seen on Book Depository in 2021. I saw it was released in publication May 2022. And I ordered it straight away. I did a pre-order on Book Depository. So I've had this deck, I think it arrived in February last year. I've had this deck sitting on in my shelf for like 10 months. But I decided to make it my Christmas deep dive. So that's why you're seeing me now finally talk about it. This is the Soul Cats Tarot. It is by a guidebook by Leezarobertson. Sorry. Artwork by Adam Olas. So this retails around the €30 mark. It is a Llewellyn mass market deck. Comes with this large box, of course, magnetic closure, and then we have this inside. Look how beautiful it is on the inside. I mean, is that not Christmassy? That's Christmassy for me. But anyway, and before I forget, these are the backs. So this is Adam Olas, and yes, this is the same person who did Oak, Ash and Thorn and Smoke, Ash and Embers, the indie decks, which I still don't have. There's a reason for that. But yes, I really love the look of those decks. I do know that it's very thick cardstock, but I still want to get them. But this is the same artist, and I really, really wanted to add this to my collection. So again, these are the backs. That's just gorgeous and stunning. Now, I have a mini panther, so I have to get this cat deck. I'm actually somebody that doesn't have that many. I only have this cat deck, I just realized. I'm very picky about my cat decks, but I have this one, and the other one that I will be getting is the Mystical Cats. I think that's what it's called, by Linnea Weatherston. That is one that I definitely want as well. So anyway, more to come on that later. But these are the cards. Now, is this not gorgeous? So I worked with this deck throughout the whole of December, and I predominantly paired it with my deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, which I'm just going to have to lean over and grab, which is Super Attractor. I'll take that out in a moment. But I mainly just paired it with one Oracle. I wanted December to be a really simple month, and it was. I particularly like the fact that there's been a wide range of species or breeds of cats used. I really like how cute they are. They're dressed up. Sometimes it's, that breaks my heart. But I just really like the settings. I love the fact they're in a forest. I do think the word is anthropomorphized, and yeah, that can be quite a bit of a weird one for some people, but I was okay with it in this deck. It wasn't too much of it, so I was able to get along with it quite well. I really like the expressions of the cats, the way the cat's bodies are used to make expressions, which is very typical of a cat. Yeah, if you're a cat person, this deck is just amazing. I mean, more than anything, it's just the spirit and the energy of the cat world. This is one of my favorite cards, by the way, in the deck. But there's just this spirit and energy that I got from this deck, which I absolutely loved. I also really like Llewellyn cards Llewellyn decks because I really like the card stock and the size. It's perfect for me. So yeah, I really just liked it because it was very homely. That's the word I want to use. Very autumnal, very, I don't know how else to put it. It was a very calm, cute deck. And my mini panther there is trying to break his cat tree. Red, no, here. Come here, honey. Come here. And now he's managed, okay. I'm going to just have to let him figure that out. Okay, so the deck is just amazingly beautiful. I mean, the art is, the word is stunning. The art is beautiful. It just captures the woodlands so well, and I'm a woodlands girl. I also like the antique wallpapers inside the house. I mean, it's a cottagey deck. I mean, what else can I say? It's a cottage feel deck. And I like Llewellyn cards for that. Of course, we just have a whole focus on cats, but yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm down with that. Now, the one thing that I do have to say that I found a little bit challenging in this deck was that I did find sometimes that the keys are not still representing enough the meaning in the image. So that was something, hopefully that makes sense. That was something that I did struggle with it a bit in this deck, but you know, it's a deck that's very themed, and so I knew it was going to have perhaps some limitations, if I can say that word, but I didn't feel really constrained by it or anything like that. The meanings came through very, very well. For some reason, I have to say, throughout the whole month, yes, it's only 30 days, but I managed to get a really good feel for this deck. I mean, I was getting very different cards, and I love it for that. So yeah, it's just very, Llewellyn decks are just whimsical. That's the word I want to use. They're whimsical, they're magical, they're fairy tale, they're kind of like step in and I'm going to whisk you away. And I don't know, that word, that term, sometimes I want to roll my eyes, my inner child. You know, the innocence and the playfulness in me loves that. She just loves that. So that's why I really appreciated this deck, and especially if you're someone that finds sometimes seasons like Christmas, Yule challenging. For me, sometimes the dark can be quite challenging at times, and a deck like this was just, it was a hug. It was a hug in a deck, and yeah, and I just really love the artwork as well. And I love the colors. I like the fact that it's quite muted. It's sepia tones. Now, oh, look at that. Talk about death. Now, interestingly, I paired it with then a very upbeat oracle, but somehow they jived. And I think it's because, so this is the oracle deck called Super Attractor, and it's by Gabrielle Bernstein, published by Hay House. And the reason why I think that they jived for me was that there's an upbeat kind of like feel to this deck, but it's quite, you know, it's universe. I like sometimes affirmation decks which are not so fussy. It says I can take action from a place of peace rather than control when I have faith. He's knocking over the lamp. I just find it a little bit funny at times, you know, when I there's a bit of dry humor in the cat deck in Soul Cats, and then, you know, there's this upbeat nature of this deck. So I found there was a lightness in my practice last month, which I really appreciated. A little lightness of being, a little bit of fun. It says Knight of Wands, and this is about spiritual alignment. So yeah, I just enjoyed it. I actually have to say I'm really enjoying the Super Attractor deck. Now, one of the things that I need to do is I do need to do a recap of 2022, one for tarot and one for oracle, because I had so much that I did work with. Actually, I realized last year I worked with a lot of decks, and I just didn't realize it until I got to the end of the year going, actually that was pretty awesome. So yeah, and this is about becoming abundance, and look at that, this is the King of Cups, and isn't that beautiful? But yeah, and the other deck that I paired this with, the Soul Cats with, which before I forget, is my, and here it is, I just need to lean over, it's my Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reid. So let me show you some of those cards too, because then you'll get a feel for it. Now, this is also a Hay House deck. It's Colette Baron Reed, and the artwork is Jenna Della Grottaglia. And I do know that both of these people are actually got new decks on the horizon separately. So it's going to be an interesting spring for us. So let me get more information on that. I need to find a way to show you all. But yeah, they've definitely got decks coming out in the next few months. So it's going to be quite interesting. But let me show you how these two paired as well. Because this one's got, interestingly, it's got some earthy tones to it. And I found that the imagery went very, very well together. Now, I absolutely love the Enchanted Map. I'm really glad I have it. It was gifted to me by someone. She wasn't using it. She passed it on to me. And boom, I was very, very happy to have this. But these decks, so this says Into the Unknown. And look at that. This is the Hanged Cat. They just went so well together. And I was very pleasantly surprised. So Spark there, and I do know for this one I had the Lovers card when I originally had pulled it out. But it is just, you know, this Oracle deck, and it says here, Sacred Pool, and I've got here the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, they just go so well together image-wise. And I was very pleasant. This says Spirit of Place. And here I have, here. Oh, I'm just trying to find something that, there you go. I mean, there is something about this deck, these two decks, and you'll see more on my Instagram where they really just flowed so well together. So here we have Coming to Life, and here we have the Knight of Swords. I just found it a really lovely pairing when I was using them. And this is Solitude. And I remember when I had this, I had something like, oh, well, this is another one, Three of Swords. I mean, they're just, yeah, there was a synchronicity in the cards that I had when I was pulling them up. And so if you go into my Insta, you'll see definitely a lot more of that. But those were the oracles that I used with it. Like I said, I kept December very, very simple when it came to card practice. And one of the reasons being is because, you know, it's just sometimes I really like my practice to be pared down to a few decks, and just that peace, you know, and sitting with my journals. I love journaling. So just sitting with my journals and that peace of just working with the cards as they are. There's something so, so blissful about that. And I think because it was the holiday period, it was just nice to have that calm. So yeah, I mean, this is just giving you an idea of, you know, how I use this deck, and it is just such a lovely, joyful deck. This is a super attractor. It's just such a joyful deck. I really, really love it. And here comes some Five of Cups. I don't have to fear my fear, you know, and this is about, you know, crying over spilt milk and thinking we've lost everything. But yeah, it's just, here comes that Two of Swords. Surrendering our will. Yeah, it's just an amazing deck. And I find that it's an easy deck to work with, you know, Soul Cats. So I'm really grateful for that, you know. It says here, I've just picked one here. It says intention here is the Two of Pentacles. But yeah, so hopefully this is a deck that's going to go so well with anything that's like these earthy tones, sepia toned, calm, because there is a lot of busyness in the cards. So moving on from there, let's pick a card and I will go through the guidebook with you all. So let's pick one randomly. Okay, what do I have here? Oh, I have the Ten of Cups. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's so joyful. Okay, so let's look at the guidebook. Now, interestingly, I found the guidebook very different from the other Lisa Robertson decks I have. So that was an interesting experience for me. I think this year, later on this year, I'm going to do Lisa Robertson's overview because I now have quite a few of her decks. But let's look at the Ten of Cups. So this is a standard Llewellyn guidebook. You'll end up with kind of like a full page on one side and a overview on the other. I have to say that, and that overview on one side is also for the majors as well. So just so you're aware, they're also quite short. I have to say, I was quite surprised because my experience with Lisa Robertson Guy's books has been more extensive. So this one is a shorter one, but I'll give you the experience of it. So it says here for the 10 of Cups, it says, all is calm, all is well. You have finally gotten a moment to stretch out in the grass and warm yourself in the sun. Your cups are filled and so is your heart. The bubbles rise in the air like the love you hold in your heart. If you could, you would share this feeling with the world. For now, give yourself permission to immerse yourself in it, absorb it, and fill your soul cup to the brim. So yeah, this is really, really good. You know, if you want a non-traditional looking card, then we have a guidance here. It says guidance. Feeling is what you do in physical form. Your heart is designed to feel deeply and completely. Right now, your heart is open, receptive, and filled to the brim with good vibes. You might even be a little high on all this positivity. Life feels effortless when you are in this state. Time seems to bend. People and places just live up without any effort, and your day-to-day life moves with inspired flow. This is the power of the heart. When it's open, it will literally change how you feel about the world and everything in it. And for protection, it says, you may not be ready to share all of your good feeling vibes with the world yet. It's okay for you to take a moment and enjoy this feeling all by yourself. Just know, however, these types of moments are meant to be shared. It is how they amplify their power and how you manifest more moments like this one. Therefore, revel in solitude for now, but get ready to share it before all the bubbles burst. So yeah, so it's actually quite a succinct set of lines here. You know, it's very short and concise, but yeah, you get a really good feel for that card. Again, if somebody was a beginner to tarot, I have to say that is the one challenge. I would not recommend this deck because I don't feel that the artwork is close enough to the RWS. I mean, it is RWS based, but you know, if you need to really learn body positions, postures, symbols, all of that's not going to be in this deck. So for that reason, I would not recommend this as a beginner deck, where instead, like another Llewellyn deck, let's say the Green Witch Tarot, I think can easily be, or the Everyday Witch Tarot, those can easily be beginner decks. This one, I think we're not going to see enough of the symbols. And so, you know, again, if you are a beginner and this calls, you know, like, yeah, but I still want to work with it, you know, go for it. That's what I'm going to say, go for it. But I just would have a warning there that, you know, that you might need something more traditional RWS based with all the symbols in order to get the full meaning of the key and the various elements that make the key. But still, you know, I mean, I do think it's a wonderful deck. It's lovely and cute. That's the best way I'm going to put it. It's cute, it's homely, it's cozy, it's autumnal, it's soothing, it's a hug. Yeah, it's magical. It's what I wanted in a December deck. There you go. So I really loved working with this. I'm going to end here with this one because I think it's so beautiful. Thank you for checking in for this review. I will be here in the next few weeks for 2022 recaps, as well as maybe, you know, what I'm doing in 2023. I think that's going to be something that I still need to think about. I think I have an idea of where I want to go, but I need to still, you know, I'm somebody that broods over things quite a lot. You can tell, right? I'm a moody Scorpio. That's how I am. But yes, I will be doing some thinking. But until then, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week wherever you are. And I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye.